Welcome to ArenaCast at the MLG Championship Finals here in Orlando, Florida, and it is very cold outside in this tropical climate. He was just coming in from Maine. I'm pointing to Jared over there, and it was actually warmer up in Maine than it was here on, what, Wednesday or something you told me?
Yeah, Wednesday morning at work I checked it, and it was 36 degrees in Orlando, and it was 38 degrees in Scarborough, Maine. So
yeah, so it's very cold. Very, very cold, but
Too cold.
Let's go through some introductions here, and I'll be doing that a lot throughout this, just passing the mic like that. So if you can't hear him, I'll make sure you get him. But anyways, this short man down there laughing at me hysterically, because I always have to make fun of him, is of course Keith Igof Trahan.
When JP doesn't actually have anything important to say.
Goof.
Yes, Gof, as he was saying. And this next to me is Mike Twixers, whatever you want to call him. Shane from what team are you on these days?
Complexity Black.
Complexity. Why is it black?
Because it's not red.
Good answer. Good answer. This is, of course, his teammate, whose name I will probably completely screw up, so I'm just going to say Flex. What's going on?
Yeah, how's it going, everybody?
Short and sweet as always. And this, of course, the zombie, Jared V. Hill Colston. What's going on?
Not too much.
All right, so let's just jump right into it and talk a little bit about the state of WoW right now. We'll talk first about live. This, of course, doesn't really have that much to do with this tournament, but everyone here is playing on live. And I know you guys have been preparing for this tournament, and I guess the biggest complaint I've heard out of you guys is Prot Warriors. So starting things off, what are your feelings on Prot?
I don't really have any complaints about Prot. It's just, I don't know. I think it needs to be changed a little bit, but I'm not going to cry about it like a lot of other people, I guess.
Like your teammate Flex has been doing, is what you're saying?
No, he doesn't cry about it. He plays Prot, so I guess he knows it a little bit better than I do. So, like, he knows what needs to be fixed a little bit more than myself.
All right, so I guess he's putting you on the spot, Flex. What needs to be fixed?
Prot has like 20-second CC, and not only that it CCs, but it does 20,000 damage while CCing the target. And if you don't pop any cooldowns, you're going to die just by the CC.
So, I mean, he was saying that you've actually leveled a Prot up. I've done heroics with you before. Are we going to see you play Prot at this tournament?
Maybe in the All-Star, but we're going to use it definitely in Germany for Inflame, and I hope he's ready for that if it doesn't get nerfed by then.
So, you guys have been running Beast Cleave before, and now you're running, or you used to run PhD, then you run Beast Cleave. You guys have been running kind of the comp that everyone hates, and now Prot is out there. Do you think it's kind of shifting over to where everyone is starting to hate that comp and not hate you guys as much?
I guess so. I mean, I think there's 5 Prot Warriors, number 1 in the U.S. right now, and 3s on different battle groups, and, I mean, there's 0 Beast Cleave, so there's only 1 Beast Cleave to begin with, so I don't know. I don't know what the problem is.
So, looking towards the end of the season, are you guys going to try to take first there on Battle Group 9? I mean, Aloran, Jazzy, and their healer ended up getting, what, 30-50 or something like that, taking first. Are you guys going to be able to take them?
I mean, we're going to try. We're not going to transfer off. Titles aren't majorly important to us, so we're just going to queue up, and, I mean, if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
A lot of teams have, actually Complexity, for one, is going to be transferring off to get that title. You said it's not that important. Flex, do you kind of have the same feelings as him? Do you not care that much about titles like some of these other teams do?
No, we don't really care about number 1. We just want to practice, and if we did, we would transfer off too. So we're going to stay on the BG9 and hopefully take it from the Prot team.
I think one of the best features of online WoW that we've seen over the past couple months is the actual streaming. So if you guys had a chance to watch that Rank 1 Prot team play, they're not very good. So, I mean, no,
Wow.
seriously, no. You compare the caliber of player to their score, it's just overall. They have some, I mean, individually they're okay players, but it's not the all-star stellar players that normally you see up at the top. So, Prot definitely. And you can see it firsthand. It's not like, you know, you get killed by it instantly in the arena and you're like, oh, what's going on? But you see it first person as they're playing it. And there's huge problems with it.
For sure, for sure. So talking about live, you also have to bring into the fact that PvE gear is going to start coming out of the woodwork now with the second wing of Icecrown Open. What do you guys think about the PvE gear? Do you think, I mean, obviously everyone here is going to say no, it should not be used in arena, but looking at live, have you seen anything that's really started to affect it besides the two-piece Prot?
Not too much. I guess PvE gear off pieces and the rings that people get a hold of, but it's been a part of the game forever now, so you just kind of get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, PvE gear has been a huge discussion. I mean, you think back to even when Arena first came around, Warglaze, it's always going to be there. It's a part of the game. WoW will never be stripped to just either PvP or PvE. It's something you just accept. But, I mean, at the same time, you look at the differences. Just watch this weekend. See how the games play out and see how much slower paced most of the games will be, depending upon what happens with these two guys. We've definitely seen it end some games pretty quick. But, I mean, you see on live that it's very easy to take advantage of PvE gear, especially now with some of the pieces that you're able to get on IceCon, and that's going to continue on, especially once those hard modes start coming out, those heroic pieces. And, I mean, it just keeps on increasing from there. And this is really where you start to see a few classes that just scale really well. And Warriors have always been at the top of it. I mean, you look back at Season 1, Season 2 of Warriors, then compare it to Season 4. And I mean, you go through that same cycle as you always do. Some classes scale better than others. So when PvE gear is available, it really shines for some classes.
All right, so we've talked a little bit about live. Let's go ahead and move on to the whole reason we're here in Orlando, and that is, of course, the MLG Championship Finals. These guys are in it. Also, what are we going to call this team? He wants to call it Ski G, and I don't really...
I'm down with Ski G.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be called Ski G.
Ski G.
All right, I guess
I like Ski G. I'll probably be calling it Ski G all weekend.
All right,
so Ski G it is.
Ski G it is, and also we've got Complexity Black. We've got their teammates, Complexity Red, who is, of course, Vinruki, Soda, Snuts, and the Rogue Wreckful. And, of course, no one really can forget Button Bashers. I'm sure these guys haven't forgotten because they actually ended up losing to them in Anaheim last tournament. Are you still a little bit salty about that loss?
No, I wasn't too salty about it to begin with. It was a really good match, and it was exciting for us to play in, and I mean, we're going to do better this time, so I'm not worried about it.
So, I mean, Flex, you've told me before that some of those matches last tournament were probably some of your favorite matches that you've ever played. How are you really looking forward to these matches this tournament, I guess is what I'm trying to say?
I am. Like I said, the matches that we had in Anaheim were just like the same feeling when you first started playing Arena in Season 1. Playing against Button Bashers, just they play on such a different style. It just feels like you're playing that Arena again, learning everything, because they bring in new types of strats.
All right, so I guess we're going to start talking about Ski G. I can't believe I'm calling him that, but...
Wait, what was your other choice?
For what?
Ski G. What else would you call it?
I don't know, I was going to say Skeg, but that's kind of, I don't know, that's just as bad as Ski G, I guess.
Ski G's way better. It sounds like a slope.
Skeg?
And this is why none of you are allowed to name anything from here on out, pretty much.
Well, if we were someone from that blog website, it would be like Shadow something or Cleave something.
But let's go ahead and move on and talk about the team instead of the name. Of course, SKUS and EG did merge to come into this event. And now that does open up a lot of possibilities for this team. There's a lot of different things they can run. But the big question that comes to my mind when I first heard about this is, can these players get along?
Yes, that is the question. Pretty much, I think that's the question on everyone's mind. If they can get along with each other, because they were ex-teammates of Zale and Collective, and how well are they going to get along? How well are their strats going to mold together in such a short time? And a lot of questions for them.
I mean, talking to Isaac and some of these other players, a lot of them said that some of the practice times where things just really haven't clicked. Isaac's kind of been yelling at Collective some, and just, I don't know. There's a lot of bad blood still on that team, and I'm just not sure if they're going to be able to kind of put their differences behind them and deal with it. We'll just have to see, I guess, this tournament.
Yeah, and I know last tournament we did make a couple notes on why these teams would come and form together for this tournament, and points follow the player, not the team. So that's why we do have this SKEG team that came together. They grabbed a couple players that had points and made one team together so that both teams could make it.
Right. My big question is, do you guys think that this team has a chance of that number one spot? Because that's the only thing that is going to matter on Sunday. Now, of course, Saturday we will have the All-Star Challenge, which is going to be a lot of fun, but the reason these teams are here are for Sunday and that $15,000 check. Do you think that they can actually get first place?
I think once the tournament starts, anything can happen. So, I mean, if they click when the tournament begins and they win their first few games, then yeah. But if it goes like it has been for them, then probably not. So, a lot rides on their first few matches against Complexity Red.
And I mean, of course, on Sunday that will be a double elimination. So I mean, it's not like round robin where you have just that little bit of room to work with to try to get in that top 4 spot. 2 losses, you're out of it, and you have to go for first place and nothing less.
So let's talk a little bit about the comps that we might actually see out of Ski G. Of course, I think we'll see Wizard Cleave, maybe a little bit of RLS. What are you guys most afraid of from this team in terms of comp-wise, or the comps they can run?
You could ask Flex.
Oh yeah, Flex, he's always quiet, but Flex, what are you afraid of from this team?
Maybe Demo RLS, but Zale hasn't been playing on the level that Glix has been playing, so maybe it'll be easier. We'll see on Sunday.
So, I mean, who on that team, Reels has kind of usually been the captain of his team, and Isaac's kind of been the captain of his team. Do you think that these two are going to have any ego clashes here at the tournament, or have you guys heard anything about some of their practices on live? Have there been problems between those two players specifically?
There might be some headbutting, but if they want to win, they would have to solve it right now. I don't know. I've heard that they've been having problems, but when it comes to tournaments, everything changes. Like, you can play well on live and then do poorly at LAN, but you could do poorly on live and then do well at LAN. It's just like how when we first started, Mike and I, we had like 55% win ratio on live, and then everybody thought we were horrible, but it was just really... No, it's not really geared, but we just started playing together, and then we clicked ever since. So.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to another team who's going to be here in Orlando, and that is, of course, the Koreans, Button Bashers. And, I mean, really, what can you say bad about these guys? Can you got anything come to your mind negative about this team?
Negative? Like, I don't have anything negative to say about them, really. I respect them always running RMP, like staying with it, and like they're always fun to play against. So I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, Button Bashers was a team that struggled early on, but once we saw Heron actually step into the rogue role for this RMP, everything seemed to click for these guys. You watch number 1 play. I mean, I think last tournament we saw him twice sitting like below 5,000 HP, channeling Holy Fire to Rogue in his face. These guys are so confident when they play, and I mean, we kept saying it last tournament, this is a triple DPS team. When they go for a kill, you hear them start yelling, and all 3 members are in on a target, and they know it's coming. I mean, with the amount of games they play, the practice they put into it, this is probably the one team you can say that will always come to a tournament playing to win and well prepared.
I mean, you talk a little bit how well they prepared. Talking to Orange over the past week, he was saying that they played over 3,500 games since Anaheim in preparation for this tournament. And in comparison, I mean, the 3 U.S. teams probably combined, do you think they even had over 1,000 games played?
It might be close to about the 1,000 number, but to be fair...
Come on.
The Korean, they from what we know, they get different benefits than we do for playing, so they can invest a little bit more time into it because they're getting a little bit more out of it than the American teams right now. So,
Orange also told me that they were here on Wednesday morning, so they've been here all week without, I guess, I mean, maybe they brought laptops or something, but they haven't really played WoW. Do you think, I guess, Flex, do you think that this might affect them at all? Or do you think they're going to take a couple rounds to warm up, or can we just expect the amazing play that they always have?
You could expect them to play well from the get-go. I don't think they'll be rusty at all, and I haven't seen them have like a downtime. They always play well.
So, Button Bashers, of course, beat you guys in the finals last tournament. What have you guys kind of, I mean, I don't want you to give away your strats, obviously, but how have you guys prepared for them? Obviously, the team that you guys are probably the most afraid of at this tournament. What have you guys done to prepare for them?
Well, it's hard to get practice for them because, as Flex said, their styles are so different than American teams. The way they play it, the triple DPS stuff, and just like the way they play. We watch the VODs, we practice against the American teams, and I mean we have a strat that we think will work, but you know we won't know until Sunday.
All right, of course you can watch those VODs at godfrag.com. They are in the World of Warcraft section there if you missed some of that action there from Anaheim. But of course, let's move on to the next team, your teammates, Complexity Red. And I mean, I guess I'm just going to come out and say it. This team has not been performing well at recent tournaments. We saw them
if you compare them to teams in the past, you know, they've got like that duelist going for gladiator syndrome where they're always placing somewhere, in the top couple, but, they're never pulling out those big wins or even pulling out some big matches. It seems like after the round robin play, they just fall apart.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys think playing them, have you played them all at live, and do you think that we can kind of expect a different team with the addition of Snuts from Complexity BHMS, or just kind of more of the same?
Well, I mean, going back with Complexity Red, they were really stable with Happy Mini before he decided to retire. But then they've been like losing faith in their comps and just trying to like run like counter comps and just like crazy idea things, and it hasn't worked out yet. They've been really active with Snuts though, and if they find something that works, then they have a chance, but it's another one of those unknown factors. Like, you don't know what card they're going to pull out of the deck, so it's a wait and see game.
And I mean, the big thing for these guys is really for me is the confidence that they come into this tournament with. If they come in already beat down, then they're not going to make it far. But if they can come in and pick themselves up and, really make a true shot at this, I think they'll have a good chance. But, I mean, as Twix brought up, we've seen them do these counter-comping and various things, but it's been proven that R&P still works. And I'd like to see these guys stick to their guns and, just like we saw Reckful whenever he first got to this team, kind of step it up and really be a leader for the team and just move things along. I think that these are three great players that have just kind of fallen on the back burner a little bit, but I still think they have what it takes.
So at the most recent tournament in Edmonton, we saw Verdi actually come in and play for Complexity Red, and Soda, of course, was not there. Allegedly, he was not there because it was finals, but I've heard some other rumors that possibly there was also some bad blood on this on this team. Can you guys, do you know anything about that, Twix, or have you heard otherwise?
I have no idea about the bad blood stuff. I heard it was finals, but if he was there, I think it would have been completely different for them. I would have picked them to get top 4. Verdi it doesn't work as well. He has very little practice, very little land experience, and I think if Soda actually went that, they would be going to CBIT in March.
So, Flex, you've played against these guys. You've played against their new roster with Snuts. What can we expect them to run this tournament, and what are you guys most afraid of?
I think they might run Druid, Lock, Rogue, but I don't know how that would work. Maybe Druid, Lock, Mage, Priest, Lock, Mage. Well, all of which we're not very scared of. I don't know. That's all. I'll just
kill
them. But I don't think they're losing faith in R&P, but realizing that they need to bring in other comps if they want to win. I think every LAN team, except for Button Bashers, needs more than one comp if they want to continuously win. And yeah.
So there will be, of course, playing a Ski G on Sunday in that first match. Who do you think is going to take this match, Flex?
I'm going to put my money on Complexity Red. Not because there are...
Wow.
They're not because we're in the same team, but Ski G hasn't been practicing well, and Snuts is crazy when he plays, and I've had personal experience playing with him. He always calls everything. He might be a good addition to the lineup, and he might be the difference for them to win their first match.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to the last team, Complexity Black. You guys do what?
Who could that be?
So,
Final Cleave.
I guess, yeah, so before we run into this, you guys were shooting some other team names that you guys were, I guess these were his, so I'll let him say them, but what are some other team names that people watching can call you guys? Fans of Halo, actually.
Triggers Up, Final Cleave, Straight Cleavin'.
I'm sure the people who watch WoW and never watched Halo have no idea why he was laughing at that, but just watch some Halo this weekend, or just go look up some of the team names and you'll figure it out. But before we kind of get into discussing this tournament, you guys just announced the fact that you were joining Complexity, 2 days ago? I mean, it is probably the biggest surprise of this tournament, and a lot of people are wondering what happened. So here's your chance. What happened?
Pretty much what happened was we enjoy everything Check 6 has done for us, and we're really good friends with those guys, but Complexity came to us, and we had to make a decision between one or the other, and outweighing our options, we had to do what was best for the team, and I mean, that's what we did.
So are there any kind of bad blood between you and Check 6, or is everything just gravy?
from what I can tell, it's been pretty good with Czech Six. We still have the relationship. We're still here to help them out if they want to keep going, and they know if they ever need anything, they could call us or contact us.
You guys were the only team that Czech Six actually sponsored. Have you heard anything about them possibly picking up a new team, or do you know any indication of what the future is for Czech Six?
I think they're pretty driven to keep going, and I mean, they might take a break for a little bit, they might not. It's up in the air, but from my understanding, they want to get something going again, so we'll have to see.
Looking at some of these other teams out there who aren't sponsored, obviously we have quite a while till the regular season comes back. But, I mean, possibly for teams that are still looking to get picked up, what are some of your suggestions to get noticed?
Qualify on Blizzard Tournament Realm.
That's it?
That's it.
All right, so there you go. Make sure you play on the Blizzard TR whenever that starts sometime this spring.
Yeah, that was something we actually haven't talked about yet that Flex was bringing up earlier, the Blizzard TR. Where is it? We haven't heard anything about it. Have you guys heard rumors from your sources or anything? Because I haven't anything whatsoever.
I'm pretty sure, isn't BlizzCon coming up in August?
Yes. August, well, somewhere around that month, yes.
So they would have to have 3 regional events plus the whole TR events for the 3 before then, but no one's heard anything about the TR. Where is it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's getting down to the wire. It's about that time. I would expect, especially since the arena season's coming to an end, this would probably be the time. I expect in the next few weeks here that
it normally goes up, like right around early February and stuff. We saw that the people found out when BlizzCon was going to be, that Vegas hotel, which I guess just kind of put it on their map to show Blizzard that, yeah, we could do it or whatever, so... Maybe that was real information, but that was end of July, which puts it a month earlier than every other BlizzCon, which means the time constraint's a little smaller on that. So hopefully Blizzard puts that TR pretty quickly.
I mean, as players, would you guys mind a shorter TR session?
I mean, we enjoy the TR more than anything. It's probably the most fun time playing the game. It's always active. You're playing people from different battle groups, and every battle group has its own style, its own specs and gearing options. Everyone's different and unique, so playing on the TR is fun. If I had it my way, we'd play on it year round, but I don't, so a shorter TR, it won't be as fun, but it's a TR nonetheless, so it's good.
One of the greatest things about TR is just the simple fact of you grab a couple guys, you load up some characters, and you go play something. And, actually a lot of people that watch these streams and are really into Arena, that's pretty much what we all strive for. Is the reason we play this game is, we do enjoy every aspect of the game. Usually a lot of us do PvE and various things like that, but the big thing is for us is just to Arena. And now, kind of interesting going on to that is Saturday and the All-Star Challenge. This is something that a lot of players have been getting pumped up for. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think, and I'm very excited to see what these guys go through. But JP, why don't you go ahead and run it down and explain the tournament for us?
Awesome. He's going to put me on the spot. So basically, we're going to have all the healers from each team. They're going to random, I think, out of a hat to see the picking order, and then they're going to be able to choose who if they're going to be picking first, or if they're going to be picking the 4 players, because of course there are 14 players in this tournament, so that's going to be a little bit interesting. And that'll start at 12 on Saturday. I mean, you guys are players, obviously. Can you talk a little bit about some of possibly your picks or some of the players' picks that we might see happening tomorrow afternoon?
Well, first off, I think this event's going to be really fun. It's totally different than what WoW is used to seeing. You'll probably see a lot of unique comps, unique specs, people thinking outside the box while still getting some practice in for the championship games on Sunday. So I think you'll see anything from Beast Cleave to the Wizard Cleave, normal stuff to maybe triple DPS, double healer comps, just whatever people can come up with, whatever works with the 3 players they get.
I think it's the element of surprise that's going to be pretty good for these teams, because it's not like you can scout these guys out and kind of guess what they're playing on live or what they're kind of practicing. Triple DPS, double healer, like you said, they're going to be pulling out lots of stuff.
By the time you realize it's triple DPS, sometimes it could be too late, and since you don't know what they're going to throw out at you, if you don't recognize it and pick it up quickly, with the way the game is, someone could be dead instantly.
This is very true. What do you guys think about the language barrier from the Koreans? Do you think this is going to make them possibly
Wait, what language barrier? We hear them talking in English all the time. Kill! Kill! Every single time. We can hear it all the way
Is
from
that
the
all you
shoutcasting.
need in arena?
That's all you need. You assist whoever's yelling.
So, I mean, have you guys heard possibly who's going to be wanting to play with Ukraine? Do you think they're probably the favorite of this tournament to play? Or to pick, I mean?
I'd keep an eye on Toes. I think he's looking for Orange Marmalade to team up with.
Uh-oh.
So watch out for that.
I mean, talking with some of the players last night, a lot of them were actually very interested in running Beast Cleave. Do you think, I mean, with possibly some of the switch-ups and you guys not, obviously Check 6 won't be there to possibly mirror them in the Beast Cleave. Do you think that might run away with the All-Star tournament?
It depends, because I think Flex and I can still play on the same team. I'm not exactly sure about the rules. So if a healer picks both of us up, I mean, we're in good shape.
Is that the best plan for the All-Star tournament?
If you're a healer, yes.
And of course, these teams are going to be playing for $1,000. They're going to play through a double elimination. It's going to be best of 7, so we won't be playing round robin style. But in the spirit of things, it's about having fun, and I think we will have plenty of that. And I do believe at noon we will be going live. We'll do a little bit of pregame show, and we'll sit these captains down and show you along the way the picks and talk a little bit about what they might be going for. Because I mean, this is going to go. I mean, it's going to be interesting. You're going to have to plan just as it goes. You're going for somebody, they get picked up. You got to change your comp right there on the spot. I believe they're giving the captains 3 minutes per player pick. So after you hear a pick, you're going to have 3 minutes to be like, what can I run now? Who's left? And you got to kind of go from there. And always, you don't want to be the fat kid. Nobody wants to be the last pick. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I think it's going to be a great way to lead into Sunday, and where we're going to see these guys buckle down and go for it in the end. And it's just going to be an all-around great weekend.
Right. I mean, I guess, do you guys have anything else you want to specifically talk about, or can we let these two players do their first Complexity sponsor shout-out?
Oh,
Nothing?
it is your first
I
one,
can't
isn't
hear
it?
anything. I think that some guy just screamed at me back there, though.
You can probably see it in the video, hopefully. Right behind us is the Madden area, and they are extremely loud, so sometimes we have a hard time even hearing people about 2 feet from us. So what I was saying is, do you have anything else you want to talk about, or should we let these guys do their first Complexity sponsor shout-out?
I'm surprised you just didn't try to wrap up the show with offending me. So, no, I'm good.
All right, so Twix,
I'm sorry.
we're not, we still got, it's still in my head. I have to figure something out, but Twix, first, don't fail your first Complexity sponsor shout-out.
I'm ready for this.
That's it.
I like to thank our Team Complexity for sending us. We're looking to do really good for them. Also like to give a shout out to our sponsors, XFX, Creative, and Pure Track, and G8 brand for those awesome jerseys.
That was pretty good. Flex. No, I'm not going to put him on the spot.
He's got it, dude. He's ready.
What? You don't get 2 sponsor shout-outs?
Yeah, we do.
All right, no. So, as always, I have to end this by criticizing Goaf. So tomorrow, make sure you tune in, 12 o'clock Eastern Time, for the world premiere of Goaf sitting on a box and finally being as tall as Jared. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Go.
All right.